What up, Clash peeps? Welcome back to Clash the Block. I'm Island Guy, and yeah, I think that's pretty much all you need to know. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you so much for joining us back here today to talk a little bit more about my push to Titan. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that. So, my push to Titan, I'll give you guys a little bit of a spoiler alert here. This was definitely the worst, like, pushing type video series I think that any YouTuber could probably do. Yeah, so long story short, I made it to Titan just a little bit ago, and yeah, I just kind of experienced some different things, and I wanted to get it down here and share it with you guys while it was still fresh in my memory. So with that spoiler out of the way, I wanted to kind of take a closer look at some of these experiences throughout this pushing process, because although this is such a short series, because I literally just mentioned it in the last video and now I'm in Titan, it still was a process that the pushing process itself did take over a week to do. And that's because when I decided that I was going to make an attempt for Titan, I was in Crystal 3, I believe. So just a little bit of history as far as pushing goes. The highest that I have been is Champs 2, and I got about 115 trophies from Champs 1, and then I gave up on the push because I didn't have resources anymore, and I just couldn't do it. So I gave up on it at that point. I decided getting all the way to Titan wasn't going to be feasible because I couldn't even get to Champs 1. So, but yeah, now that the new year has come and gone, I have made the transition from Town Hall 9 essentially all the way to Town Hall 11. I have max golems, max whiz, max witches. I decided that it was a good time to go ahead and try again at a run. And there's a couple things that I wanted to share with you guys again, kind of about that experience. The first thing is that I think pushing to Titan is expensive. It's expensive because I kind of found myself in positions where number one, I definitely had to be boosting barracks and resource collectors, that kind of stuff. I lucked out for a little while because they had the 1 gem boost going, but yeah, so I had to boost a lot, and then I found myself in positions where I would get close to like the tail end of Champs 2 or Champs 3 or Masters 2 or 3 or 2 or 1, and I would be forced at that point to either go on defense because my personal shield had expired, or I just had stuff to do because I also have a life to live. So it put me in a position where I would need to gem finish like the remainder of my army just so I could attack before that time expired. So yeah, it's expensive. I think that anybody that's made the push to Titan can attest to that fact. And the other experience that I have that's a lot more, I think I've got a lot more to talk about, is the way that multiplayer matchmaking works. I'll start by saying that I think that there's something wrong with it. I think that it's a system that's broken. I definitely believe that there are and should be better ways of determining both a matchup for bases as well as the trophy offers for those matchups. I don't think that there's any logical reason why you should ever be offered a base that is 2 or more leagues below you. This came to light for me when I was in Champs 1, because 95% of what I saw were Champs 3, and I just found it interesting, because this process, the last leg of this push really happened in like a 36-hour period, and throughout the entire Champs 1 league, I never once was put up against a Titan 2 or a Titan 3. Sorry. Never once was I matched up against a Titan. Every time it was a Town Hall 11 or a 10 sporadically in Champs 3, with trophy offers at +5 for a 100% and -30 for a failure. And it was immensely frustrating going through that process, and it made, of course, the last bit of Champs 1 agonizing to push through, because of all of this really just what I felt was a broken system as far as matchmaking was concerned. I don't know a lot about the way that the systems are set up to determine those things, but I really don't see why the alternative seems to be that I got offered much lower bases in lieu of higher bases at Titan 2 or Titan 3. Sorry, I keep saying that. I didn't understand it, and this became more apparent and more of an issue in my eyes when I got to Titan. So when I got to Titan, which is just a little bit ago, literally maybe an hour ago, I had to go on defense because I had spent my entire personal break timer pushing in order to get there. It worked out timing wise to where I had the 2-hour village guard that I could buy for 10 gems, which I did, and then after that expired, I had 15 minutes left before I was going to be kicked off the game. So I started cooking my troops. I had my heroes boosted. They recovered. We were ready to go. I filled my CC for defense, and I logged out of the game. And sure enough, the first defense I get as a Titan, guess what I get attacked by? A Champs 1. And it's so frustrating, because hour after hour after hour, 40 minutes between searching to find a base to hit at the end of Champs 1. This is not an over-exaggeration. Not once did I see a Titan. I go on defense. As soon as my base is put into the available pool, I think it's after 5 minutes of me being offline, immediately I get hit by a Champs 1. I just don't understand it. And then I get a 40% on me by a Champs 1, and I lose 20 or 21 trophies from that 48% 1-star. Like, what in what universe does that make sense? It was just crazy. I shared my frustration in the clan chat and said my piece on it, but it is what it is. It's the way the game operates, and it's the game that I play, so whatever. But it's so frustrating. But yeah, that's been pretty much my experience with the pushing process. Now that I'm in Titan, I did have that defense. I have attacked a couple times, yeah, my experience so far is great. Being in Titan, I know it's really mature or premature at this point as far as how much time I've spent in Titan, but a couple of things that I think are just really awesome about it is the loot that's up here is crazy. Almost every other base is like upwards of 300k for loot. Besides that, the loot bonus itself for the league is insane. That's another 200 and 80k, I think, or something. I can't remember. I just got to Titan, so I haven't memorized all that, but it's a lot. And you get a 2-hour village guard. That's just crazy. That is crazy. So if you time it right, if you go on D, you get a shield, you attack through your shield, you get the 2-hour guard, and then you buy the 2-hour additional guard for 10 gems. That's insane. That's if you have that amount of time to just sit and play. I'm not saying you don't have other stuff you've got to do, but still, that's crazy awesome. I'm enjoying it. I like it. If you are honest with yourself and you assess your capability and your troops, your skill level, all that kind of stuff, and decide that Titan is something that you can get to or that you can achieve, I hands down would tell anybody to go for it. It's a good place to be, I think, right now. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I have a ton to do as far as upgrades go. And it's great. I can't say enough about it. The last thing that I'm going to leave you guys with here is, as far as my experience goes, is really just kind of affirming my love and whatever for my clan. I don't know what word you want to put on it, but it's at the end of the day, I can look at it and say, I'm the one that's doing the attacks, I'm the one that's got my fingers on the screen, but in reality, I honestly don't think that it's something that I could achieve without the help and assistance from my clan members. From something as straightforward as troop donation. Obviously that's a tangible assistance that you get from your clanmates, but the untangibles really make it something that that you can't quite put your finger on. It's just, throughout this pushing process, I have been able to depend on my clanmates, the core players, the co-leaders, the leader, even a lot of the elders in the clan. I've been able to depend on them for help and support in the way of troops, assistance with attack strategy, troop deployment, troop composition, sharing replays, getting constructive criticism from them. It's a phenomenal experience to have that really plays a crucial piece, I believe, in the effectiveness of a push, and really just it came to light more, I guess, in this situation, but it's something that affects gameplay across the board. As far as a clan is concerned. I know that not all clans are like that, or not, of course not all players are going to have that kind of experience with it, but I think that's really what makes, again, the block what it is, and that makes it such a great place to be. I was going to say magical, but that kind of sounds weird. Because that's the kind of stuff that you get. There's so much give and take with support, people that give it to you, and you that give the support back, and it's awesome. I can't say it enough. So if you are watching this video and you are a clanmate of mine, which I'm sure most of you are, but if you are one of those people, thank you so much for your help and your support throughout this process. It's definitely something I couldn't have done without you, and I'm extremely grateful for that. If you're not a member of my clan and you're watching this video, then I would just urge you to keep those things in mind. Don't lose sight or lose focus of the level of support and that kind of assistance, because you might find yourself in a position where you might not be in a clan. Maybe you're the jerk that they kick out. No, I'm just saying. But remember the help that you got along the way, the people that helped lift you up to get you to the place where you're at, because it's important. It's something you should do throughout life, not just in Clash of Clans, but lecture over that's the end of it. Thank you so much for sticking through. This video is long, and I just appreciate it. Appreciate you doing it. If you did, you're awesome. You should give yourself a pat on the back. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down in the section below if you want. If you're not subscribed, I mean, you're here, you should probably subscribe. Yeah, thanks just so much. You enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, your night, whatever time it is for you, for where you are. Enjoy that time. Island Guy out.